Let's see. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Sari Custer, and this is Sari on Science for Arizona Science Center, coming to you today with our live demonstration for 1 o'clock. We hope you all are at home, safe social distancing, and thank you for doing that. We really appreciate you helping to keep our community healthy. So as folks join us today, as you can see, we're also enjoying a little bit of time in our backyard, getting a little fresh air today. So we hope you guys are able to, also do that. Just step outside, get a little vitamin D, and then, come back right inside and stay home. So thank you again for joining us today. Those of you who are at home and looking for more science activities, we do have a plethora of resources on our website at azscience.org. Our virtual learning
.com.
.org, azscience.org. And as you can see, I'm also joined today by my fabulous helper, Carson.
I'm not a helper.
You are my helper.
No, I'm a daughter. I'm not a helper.
Well, you're my
I'm a daughter.
You're my helper daughter, and you're doing great.
That's better, Mom.
Thank you. So we also learned something already today in our Facebook Live, which is that it's really hard to push buttons with gloves on.
The goggles are hurting my face.
Well, we're going to need them. So you may have read in the description today we're doing a little chemistry. So we are going to do some elephant's toothpaste. So let me put this glove on. It's a little hot out. I think I need a new glove. Let me start with another glove because safety first. So some of you have done elephant's toothpaste before, but if not, we're going to give you
Elephant toothpaste?
Yeah, have you done elephant's toothpaste before, Carson?
No.
No?
What is that stuff?
Well, it's a chemistry experiment.
Is that the elephant's toothpaste?
This right here is some of the dye that's going to go into it. So let's see what happens. It's all about watching some chemical reactions. So, all right, let me grab the phone so we can take a look at some of these. We'll put it down here.
Yeah.
Some of our materials today. Ooh. All right.
Mom, no one will know what I would be doing.
Well, you can help me hold up some of these materials because we've got a bunch of stuff today. Everything from hydrogen peroxide to...
And we got a soda bottle.
Yep, well, we've got soda bottles for the one that you can try at home. We've got food coloring. We've got
some soft
We've got dish soap. We've got... Also, we're going to be using a chemical called potassium iodide.
And we're going to use these 2 packets.
And we've got yeast. Yep, and we'll go through this all again with the version that you can do from home. But we thought maybe we'd start with the one that you can't necessarily do at home. But we've got some specialized ability to do right here. So Carson's going to step aside for a second and let me do this one and help where she can. Because right behind us we have a setup. All right, Carson, so I'm going to need you to help me out first. So I'm actually going to grab the phone. All right, so for those of you, we're going to try and switch. Oh, here comes the really hard part. Don't normally grab this. I have to try and take this out. Carson, can you, there you go. Don't pull it with your teeth. Here we go. Pull this off and hit this button right here. So we're going to switch this around.
Which one's our switch?
See this one, the camera with that one right there. Yep, switch it around. Hit it again, right there. Looks like a camera. Perfect. All right.
I want to take
So these are some of our materials that we have right here. And we are going to be using them to make our elephant's toothpaste because we also have a setup right back here to do a fun version that is really the, don't try this at home version, and then we'll give you the second version.
Help, Mom.
All right, hold on 1 second, Carson, because you don't need gloves to do this part. I'm going to have you add some of our food coloring first. All right, so Carson's adding some food coloring. All right, that's good, babe. That's enough. That's actually quite a lot. So we'll see how this goes here. The next thing we're going to add for this one is our hydrogen peroxide. All right, Carson, back up for me, please. And I need you to step aside for this because now I'm going to use chemicals moving forward, all right? So, all right, matter of fact, do you want to hold the camera? We'll see how you do. Just try and keep it focused right there. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to pour over here. We're using hydrogen peroxide, but the hydrogen peroxide that we're using is actually a lot stronger than what you would normally use at home. What we use at home is about 3%. This is about 30%, hence the reason I am wearing
I'll tell you when it's
gloves and goggles, and we're being very careful here.
Perfect.
All
now
right.
dump.
All right, so we're gonna add. I'm gonna grab this really quickly just to make sure we can see. So we're going to add our peroxide in here. Awesome. All right, so the next thing we're going to add is soap.
I want to add
All right, you can help me with this one, Carson. So we're going to add a little bit of soap
I am.
right in the top here. Just give it a good squeeze. Whoop, a little bit more. Awesome. We're going to add just a little bit more just for fun.
Mom.
It's all right if it drips. It's soap. And then the last thing we're going to add is a chemical called potassium iodide.
I want to.
Nope, this is one that Mommy's going to add because this is another chemical. So this one, here's hoping everything works properly. This is what we call our catalyst. So we are going to try and take this hydrogen peroxide. So Carson, I'm going to have you come stand back here with me. I know, you can watch it from here. And with this reaction, hydrogen peroxide is H2O2, so it's hydrogen and oxygen, and we're going to break it down and try and release the oxygen, and we'll see what happens here. Let's hope that this works. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Here's hoping that this one reacts, because this one's a little bit lower and slower. Carson, stand back for me, please. So, I'll give it a little swirl. This one's a little bit slower on the go today.
Stand back all the way, Mom. Is it getting in the grass white?
Do you think so? Is it going to get in the grass? It might. We put a tarp down just to protect for this one. And now, with some versions of this, depending on how strong our potassium iodide is, you can actually see it erupt all the way into the sky and go really, really far, because especially with a container like this, it adds pressure.
It's like a volcano.
Oh yeah, so Carson just said it's like a volcano. It absolutely is like a volcano.
Because the volcano has red lava.
Well, what color lava do we have here?
Blue lava.
It's kind of like blue lava, but really that lava that we're seeing, it's not lava, it's soap bubbles. And we've released the oxygen from the hydrogen peroxide, and those oxygen bubbles got trapped in the soap, and that's what we're seeing. Now some of you...
I wanted to get in my nice grass. I got it.
Oh, I promise. It's okay. So we'll check the grass over here. Just touch this one. Even though, you know, that's the number one question we get, Carson, with this particular demonstration is, can you touch it? But this one also produces a lot of heat. Some of you might have noticed that there was steam coming off of it. And that was just, or the smoke that was coming off of it, it's just steam. It's really hot water. So it also releases heat with this experiment.
With the sun. The sun hits inside it. It can grow really slowly. It can make it steam up.
You think so? Huh. All right. Well, here, let's try this again.
Ew.
All right. I'm going to bring this back around. All right, to me. All right. Hi, y'all. All right. So we're going to show you the version that you can do at home where you don't need all those specialized chemicals, but you will need some things from home and from your kitchen. All right. Can you see the, here, you can only see some of it here. Okay.
This stuff is hurting my
All
head.
right, you can take off your goggles now, Carson. We're going to be very careful with our chemicals. I know you are all joining us, and you've got a good view of the table here.
I've been hurting my head.
You're okay. Carson's got, here, you can show everybody your good goggle marks. This is that mark of safety, right? We know we've been doing it right if we've got our goggle marks. So if you have them, of course, wear them.
Ouch. It hurt.
Are you all right? You okay?
Yeah, the big ones hurt.
Well, all right, we don't want them to hurt, so set them aside. We aren't going to need them again if you've got them. Maybe we'll trade. Actually, you probably should wear them, Carson. Can you put them back on for me?
Okay, I want to trade.
Actually, I realized that those won't fit me, unfortunately. So, what we're going to do is start this next process. Well, if you want, you can sit aside so that you don't have to do it. You want to sit aside? I know, I want you to join me too. So here, let's make sure that we're safe.
Really hurt.
Well, here, let's loosen it just a little bit.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, honey.
Because it really hurt it when you tighten it up all the way.
Well, we got to make sure that our goggles fit properly. There we go, much better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get back to everybody here watching and make sure they know what they need if they're going to try this at home. So, Carson, what's the first thing that they're going to need?
A soda bottle.
All right, so we've got a 2-liter soda bottle. If you don't have a 2-liter soda bottle...
Mom, there's still soda right there.
You know what? I thought I rinsed that out really well, but I guess I didn't. That's okay. So let's put some stuff in this tray. We'll move this tray over here. We've got a 2-liter bottle.
Hey, I can't see it.
Well, here, we're going to back it up just a little bit so that everybody can see it a little bit better. There we go. All right, so we've got a 2-liter soda bottle. If you don't have a 2-liter, I've just got a little tiny empty water bottle here.
Nope, it still has water.
That's all right. That's all right. The next thing we're going to do, what do we need, Carson?
Mom, the blue one is mine.
Oh, okay, the blue one. You can take the blue one. So we've just got a little cup. The next thing we're gonna need is some yeast. And we're gonna take a whole package of yeast.
Can I dump it in?
Yep, go ahead. We're gonna rip it open.
Scissors.
You can just rip it. You want me to rip it for you? Here, I can help with that. I'm gonna put it over here so everybody can see. I'm gonna dump this whole packet here. And actually, maybe I'll give you a little bit more because you've got a bigger bottle than me. So this yeast is gonna end up being our catalyst, just like the potassium iodide was the catalyst in the one that we saw with the big blue experiment back there. So, how you doing on that yeast over there, kiddo? You want a little help? Here, let me open that bigger for you. Oh, you got it. All right, so put it all in here into your cup. So if you don't, we've just used some little bowls that we had. Some of you might recognize these, but if you've got just a little dish at home, that'll work. And the next thing you're gonna need after your package of yeast, if you're using a smaller bottle, you can try using all the yeast or just some of it. But you
and are we adding some food coloring?
We are gonna add food coloring, but not yet. So the next thing you're gonna need is some warm water, about 4 tablespoons of warm water to start activating.
I want to do mine own.
All right, here, you wanna count? So,
no, you count for me.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Let me add just a little bit more. This one looks a little thick, so.
Mine isn't.
All right, so we'll give that, as I said, give it a little swirl. Perfect. So like I said, we're going to activate the yeast, and that's going to be our catalyst this time around instead of the chemical that we were using last time.
Food coloring.
Well, before we add our food coloring, let's go ahead and use our next material. So that is peroxide. As I mentioned in the first experiment, we used 30% peroxide, which you cannot get at the drugstore. What we normally use at home and use in our medicine cabinets is 3%. You can see on there it says 3%. So this is perfect to use for this.
Can I drop it in my own?
Well, actually, you're going to measure it out for all of us. So we're going to use...
Measure it?
Yeah, I want you to measure it for the big bottle. We're going to try about a cup, or about 200 milliliters. It's not a perfect... equivalency, but yep. So I want you to go ahead, Carson, and you're gonna pour this in up to about the 200 mark here. See where it says 200? All right, a little bit more. Perfect. All right, so we've got a couple funnels here just to make our lives easier. So
I'm doing the really tall one.
All right, so there you go.
No, you are.
Can you pour that in?
Okay.
Perfect.
I can't really.
You can stand up. You got it.
Okay,
I'll hold on to your funnel. So we're pouring in our peroxide. Perfect. All right, and I'm going to use a little bit less. So that was about 200 milliliters. I'm going to use about 50 milliliters here.
Oh no. Okay, Mom.
Yeah?
I'm dumping it in.
Oh, you're going to pour this one? Okay. So our funny enough, so we're just using a measuring cup here, just a kitchen measuring cup, about half. That's perfect. Perfect. Awesome.
Then I'm dumping it back in this one or the little one?
We're going to put that in the little one. So here we go. Here's our funnel. I'm going to step aside, and you can pour that right in there. Most measuring cups like this, if you're using a liquid measuring cup, have measurements on both sides. So you can kind of eyeball that with the milliliters versus cups. All right, Carson. So what do you think we need next? All right, so we definitely need some food coloring. We're going to use that. Carson, you chose purple. We already did blue, I guess, and all I have left is pink after that.
Mom, you can have the big one. I want the small one.
You're going to do the small one? All right, we'll trade then. All right, so we're just going to put in a few drops of food coloring, but we might as well make this worthwhile, so sure, however much you want. Go crazy. Have a little fun with the color. Okay, that might be plenty, more than plenty.
Look at mine.
Yeah, it's very purple.
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing we're going to need, just like with the big version, is...
I want the small one.
All right, soap. So we're going to need some soap. So I'm going to put this funnel in here while Carson squeezes in some soap. There we go. How many of you have ever tried this at home?
I got soap on ya.
Yeah? That's all right. Here, I'm going to even just use just a little bit more just to make sure we've got lots of bubbles there. I'll add some to the big one here. This is such a big bottle, I can't even squeeze the handle properly while I hold it. So here, let me try and just adjust this and give it a good squeeze. And dare I say, that's an official measurement, just a big squeeze. Whoop! Shaking the phone. All right, so we've got peroxide, we've got our coloring, we've got some really great soap.
And we can use some leaves.
I don't know that we need leaves for anything, but I love that you were out looking for those today. That's something else we can do while we're safe social distancing, is check what's in our house and around our yard. Whoop. Got a little turn here. All right, so the last thing we're going to add is our yeast that has been activating in our warm water. Oh, did I get some yeast on you? All right, be careful with that. All right, and we're going to just dump that in here and then see what happens. All right, Carson, you ready?
It's melting, Mama.
Are you ready?
Look at the back.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it in a second. Here, can you pour in your yeast? All right. There we go. Here's hoping everything is warm enough and working. Carson's is working really well there. I'm going to see if maybe I need a little bit more. Let's go ahead and take off the funnel there, kiddo.
Mine. That might work.
Yeah, so
It's
here, we'll
going
wait.
really slow.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, here, I'm going to add just a little bit more of that. Let's see if I can get the rest of this yeast going over here. Oh, you know what? I gave you more of the yeast too, so let me add, I'm going to steal the rest of your yeast here and add that in. And as you can see, this reaction's a little bit slower. The first one we did was pretty slow, and we knew that was going to happen because of the concentration of some of our materials.
Slow. Mine is.
Yeah, mine is really slow.
Mine isn't.
And we're also, as I say, from the concentration of chemicals, right? So we were
I
using...
might need a little. Is that one mine?
Well, I'm going to see if I can get this one to go a little bit more too.
Just a little bit, okay, Mom? I need
All right.
the rest for mine.
You need a little bit more?
Oh, man.
That's all right. Hold on. We're going to... And for those of you who can't see this, some of that yeast is really clumpy. So we're just trying to use the rest of it because it's our catalyst and it's going to help us separate the oxygen and hydrogen in the hydrogen peroxide. So we are creating oxygen bubbles. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that one going for you. Perfect. And if we were to use a stronger...
Mommy, look, it's going bigger and
It is. It's still going. So this one I like because it's kind of slow. But if
Mom,
we were to
yours
use...
is slow.
Mine's really slow. It's also really big, so it has more volume to fill up, huh? And speaking of volume, so if you were using a certain volume of hair developer, so if you've ever been in a beauty store...
Mom, watch!
Oh, there it goes, right over the edge. It's starting to go. We'll see what happens there. And if you were to use a hair developer, which it says like 14 volume or 40 volume on it, that is a little stronger percentage of peroxide. So that's
my God.
a viable option too. Just please be careful with if you're using stronger chemicals with any of this.
Wow, Bobby, look at mine.
All right, and we're gonna add just a little more here and see if we can get any more of this to go.
Oh my gosh, Mom.
We'll give it a little swirl. Oh, and here's something interesting, Carson. So here, feel the side. What does it feel like? Feel the bottle. Is it warm or cold?
What?
It's a little warm.
Mom,
so this is also an
turn
exothermic.
it back. It's get on yours, Mom.
It's all right. This is also an exothermic reaction.
I can see it better from right here now.
Yeah. So yours is going really. Oops. You lost your stool.
You made my seat.
We're using our plant stands as stools out here, so we're trying to make it work. All right, here you go, kiddo.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this one, Carson, you said it was warm. This is an exothermic reaction.
Mommy,
so it
put in
does,
a little more of that stuff.
You know what? Here it's getting really close to the top. I'm gonna lift this up just a little so people can see this one. And it does go.
What are also that be mixed up?
Oh, the colors are gonna be mixed up. Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder what color would be mixed with.
If we add the red and the purple, what color do you think it would be mixed with? Or would it become? What colors do you get or have to mix to make purple? Do you remember?
Red and blue.
Red and blue. So this is just a little more red to it. I bet we'll just get a lighter pink color or a lighter purple color. All right, so as we're watching this one's gonna go, it's gonna erupt kind of slowly, and this reminds me of slow moving lava. Whoops, sorry to make that shake for you all. But if you're ever watching a volcano erupt, this is what I think of with that super slow moving lava. But again, this is just a great example of a really good chemical reaction.
Mom, look, I moved in mine right here.
No problem. where we're trapping those oxygen bubbles as they're being released from the hydrogen peroxide. So
I'm taking off my goggles.
all right, so we hope you enjoyed doing a little bit of elephant's toothpaste with us. As you can see behind me,
This is elephant toothpaste we made.
yeah, we made some elephant's toothpaste, and then this version you can try at home safely with a little hydrogen peroxide, soap, some food coloring, and a little bit of activated yeast. So give it a try. Take some video, take some images. We definitely want to see you trying these experiments at home, of course safely, so please be careful while you're doing it.
Yeah.
If you're looking,
I jumped one because it was so slow.
it is pretty slow, and we'll have to wait and see how long this will go for because it's still coming out. We'll have to, that'll be our next experiment.
I'm adding all of it.
But see if you can change some of the
Mom,
amount, see
I
if you
got
can make it
more
happen faster
pepper.
or slower. And she's very excited about the elephant's toothpaste. So we hope you are too. If you're looking for more experiments to try at home, of course, please check out azscience.org and Arizona Science Center's virtual learning page for all kinds of information, activities, videos, and so much more. Catch us every day at 9:30 on Facebook for an early learner activity, and then at 1 o'clock for a live demonstration of some type for all ages and just a whole lot of science fun. All right, thanks for joining us today. Leave comments for us, and we'll see you next time with Sari on Science. In person.
It got on me.
You'll say goodbye?
Ew. Bye. I got it on me.
Oh.